There's going to be a new me, but it'll still be the old bones. Same old person behind the bones. I'm excited. Y'all should be too. A package? At midnight? Are you serious? What the hey? I'll be fine, y'all. Let me just go ahead and scoot over here. Grab it. Back in a few. Let's see. Aha! There it is. Shit! Ah! Who set up that bomb? Swear. Oh, that doesn't sound good. No!
This is Gehenna News Radio, broadcasting this evening's headlines on KBNE 1600. Our top story of the night, the ongoing investigation into the strange and unknown controlled detonation in downtown Gehenna. Local residents say the owner of the leveled property, one Mr. Ricardo Trujillo de Calaveras, was a kind soul that never bothered anyone, aside from the neighborhood complaints about the occasional loud noise of explosives and tears in reality. However, just 3 nights ago, the citizens of this fair block were awakened around midnight with a tremendous shockwave that could be heard from the heavens.
Yeah, I was just minding my own business, getting ready for bed by time, when suddenly I heard a bigger kaboom than usual coming from Ricky's place. That boy needs better soundproofing, I'll tell you what.
After the immense concussive force woke the dead, the citizens watched in horror as the music studio, owned and operated by Ricardo Trujillo, had its sturdy brick walls collapse inward, dusting its sole occupant in the process. Ricky? Yeah, I knew him. That dude must have thrown some seriously wild parties, because that so-called solid construction was absolutely devastated well before the Historion came crashing down like a cascarona. We hardly found any metal or insulation in that rubble. I wonder why. As residents of Gehenna are well aware, necrocide is uncommon in our fair underworld, but for our soon-to-be-judged skeletons, being dusted means a swift trip to your starting point for regeneration. However, newly arrived citizen Ricardo Trujillo, a.k.a. Ricky T. Boness, has yet to report back to the scene of the crime, and local residents are growing concerned of foul play behind this blatant disturbance of the peace. In response, the Council of Death has decided to institute a form of second-hand law enforcement to better preserve the peace in our fair underworld.
The Council of Death will not allow this chaos to continue further. Therefore, yeah. We need somebody to watch you guys while we're busy killing shit. So, one of y'all's gonna be the head honcho. Nick? Too bad. Peace.
Details of this organization are unknown at this time, but anyone who may have further information on the case are urged to visit the newly established GPD headquarters at Hotel Calaveras, on the corner of Lime Street and Wednesday Avenue. This has been Coward Grossell reporting.
Is someone there? I'm sorry. The doorman didn't tell me. Ah, for God's sake. Hang on, I'm upstairs. You know, I'm not exactly a fan of heights. Not in the slightest. No, we're not closed. This is just, you know, off limits to the public. Alright. Also, I apologize about the lighting. Yeah. They just installed me in this room, and I gotta say, not fantastic with how fast they are on electrical service. Hello there. Forgive me for not introducing myself at the door. I've been very busy trying to get everything set up. Hello, officer. I'd like to turn in a certain Frankie Bagman and Glitch Phantom. You'd have to do that at the precinct, if there was one. I'm just investigating leads up here. But, where are my manners? I'm Detective Calaveras. I'm also the proprietor of this joint. Yeah, it's a little bit of column A, column B. They really wouldn't let us have the place unless we decided to, you know, make sure it didn't burn into the ground. But please, 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 make yourself comfortable. Now, from what I gather, you're one of the few people who actually responded to the little radio ad the Council of Death put out. Is that correct? If so, I have some details I'd like to go over with you, if you don't mind. Man. Very good, very good, very good. I know. Judging by the, soot and general gore, I'd say you kind of took the scenic route through hell to get here, right? Yeah, those taxi drivers, man. You know, I rode in a taxi once that was supposed to go from one block to the next, and the taxi driver just took me all across Gehenna, and I gotta admit, I saw some amazing sights, but boy, that fare of $50 was not worth it. Anyway, I got here a checklist that I'd like you to have a look at. So, go ahead and have a look at that. Thank you. Now we got a couple of blanks to fill in, and hey, you hear that crackling? Oh, look at that, the power's back on. Alright, nothing to worry about then. Once we get this settled, we'll have a nice proper chat over a cup of coffee, especially now that the coffee maker's actually on. So, let's start with a couple things here. Where's my pen? Tell you what, you can just, you know how to type, right? I'm sure this interview board isn't that fancy. So, what was, this is gonna be kind of a quiz just to make sure we're on the same level. So I'm gonna ask some very basic questions. You're gonna have to answer them as best you can. You're illiterate? Ah, well, then that's the good. I have good news for you. I'm gonna read it out to you, and I'll just write it down for you. How about that? You don't have to do anything. I can just write it down for you. All right. You know how I type. That sounds like a very big issue you should deal with down the line. But I digress. Let's start with the name of the victim. Do you remember anything about him? Aside from what you heard on the radio? Because the way I hear it, you were actually the last to see him. Which makes you a prime suspect, I'm not gonna lie. Half of these guys can't communicate with the other talking even then. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned how y'all actually managed to fit in one car and drive all the way to hell. Richard, if you recall correctly, okay. Ricky T. Bones, I see another name. That is correct. Ricky T. Bones. And Ricardo Trujillo is also an option, although it's Truijo. I can't tell you how many times people have said my last name wrong, or my first name for that matter, but that first name is on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. So, when Mr. Ricardo Trujillo, or Ricky T. Bones, we'll just call him like that, occupation music producer and live streamer. Alright, so I'm just gonna, because there's not much space here on this board, we're just gonna put music and streamer. Whew, getting out to the edge of that clipboard there. Man of million talents? Oh, I see. And I hear VTubers are very particular about who they tell what they do. So maybe you should keep that last one on the down low. I didn't hear nothing. Now, when he was alive, you got any idea what he was like? Because if he was human, then he turns into a skeleton. If he was anything else, he'd turn into that. The underworld kind of works in screwy ways like that. Human/skeleton, thank you. Alright, and he was, as Proto Man here tells me, thank you. I have played none of your games, and I must admit you're a fantastic fellow. 5 foot and 6 inches. Thank you for saying it in freedom units, because I actually don't know what it is in centimeters at the moment. He's dead today, that's for sure. He does have a proper date of death, you know, being dusted, which is to say, necrocide, you know, skeletons dying, quote unquote. Now 167, so that's what it is in European units. Actually, almost everybody uses centimeters. We just don't use them because we're kind of particular about that. Nobody remembers when he died on the top side, huh? Well, I do know what it is. I don't know exactly what it is on file. April 23rd would have been the day he got dusted. Not date of dust, no. We're looking for date of death, so that means August 18th. Thank you very much. Man, oh man, that's coming up real soon too, isn't it? Starting the summer right now. Ugh, you know, I tell you what, Gehenna, when it gets hot, my friends. That about 5 or 6 years ago, yeah. Now, last known residence, this is unknown to all of you, but on file here, we don't actually have a address. It was located in a project block, so it doesn't really... Yes, a studio. A music studio. That thing came crumbling down, and let me tell you something. When we looked through the rubble, the supports were gone. The insulation was gone. Chomps of it. Like somebody bit into the insulation. Like it was cotton candy. Who would do that? It's insane to me. And then there was unexplained absences of supports, of gravel, of matter, for that matter. He's kind of worked himself down to the bone, eh? That's the 20,000th time I've heard that joke. But you know what? Kudos to you. It's creative in this world. Everything is creative under the sun, and nothing is original. Now, physical description. We don't necessarily know what he looked like because he rarely ever went outside his studio. He just kind of came to Gehenna, sat down, and started writing music. And because he didn't need to really eat or sleep, he just kind of stayed in his studio, usually getting like Uber Eats or whatever the heck it is down here in Gehenna. Why are you all looking at me hungry like? I happen to be a dead man myself, and I don't like seeing somebody drool over my calcium deposits, if you get my feeling. Kind of looks like Mario? Oh, okay. So he's got a mustache. Alright. No jaw. A skeleton with a mustache and no jaw. Now that's peculiar. Had a headband that says deadbeat. reads Dead Beat. Hello, Random Forge. You're sitting in the GPD HQ. We're doing a quick little interview about the missing skeleton. Let's see. He was broad-chested. Somebody's been doing their homework. That's very good. Cloak above his tattered suit. Ooh, you think he had some formal wear under that cloak. Alright. Cloak over suit. And let's see. I think that's pretty much all we need for now. We've got a good idea. So we'll just put a period on that. And then, in particular to you, what was your relation to this bone man? It was a great basketball. Oh, you know, you can get 20 years in the clink for that. Especially now that the GPD isn't stated. Friend, brother, compatriot, companion, streamer, entertainer. There's a whole lot of adjectives that could fit. Ooh, morgue mate. Now that's a new one. Well, I think we're pretty much talking about the same guy, I must admit. Doctor. I don't know about that. I think if he was a doctor, he'd be sued for malpractice a long time ago. Well, I have to say, I think we're talking about the same person. Or are we? You see, when a skeleton gets transformed, reinvigorated, regenerated, sometimes they turn out a little different. Sometimes they aren't exactly who they used to be. Sometimes even they evolve. They grow. And sometimes they like to string along their buddies on a little shenanigans bit. Alright. I think it's time to do a little reveal. If I may. Yeah. Faking my own death wasn't exactly the greatest of strategies, but they weren't going to let me do this if I didn't. So, let me go ahead and slowly move this away so you can get a good look at the new Ricky T. Alright. Slowly up. What do we have here? Some pinstripes. Maybe a black shirt. Maybe he's going for the sort of in tech mogul kind of look. Oh, no, sir. We are dapper to the bone. That looks to me like a vest. That's the whole point of this tank, I assure you. A three-piece suit, yeah, indeed. Let's have a little bit more. Oh, what would an investigator be without a tie? But I wonder, is it the full Monty, or has he got it like loose, like a PI? No. He's got to be a proper policeman. Look at that. Bonus points for whoever can tell me what that is. I wonder, does anybody know what the actual name of that is? Because I do, and I had to explain it to somebody in particular who it was, what it is. A handkerchief? Okay, no. No, that's underneath the coat, Frankie. The Cove Konar from TF2. Pocket square. The Random Forge's got it. Now, this is a detail a lot of people will get wrong. Boutonniere or corsage. Whether or not it's real doesn't really matter. I mean, if it was real, it'd stain the suit, I'm sure. And it looks like our investigator here is very dapper about how he looks. Buttoned all the way up, tie nice and tight. My God, he has a neck. He has bone. He has a spinal column. That's quite thick, actually. That's medically questionable. He has a neck? I know, right? Who'd have thunk? Now, I do need to double check one more thing. And that is exactly what I thought. You were going to wait a little longer because something broke. Boom. Like a magic act. We've seen all this. Seen all this. That is a peak lapel design, by the way. 2 bones. 3 bones. Could that be something moving when I talk? I wonder what it could be. And not just any jaw. Something big and sharp. And 3-pronged. Oh my goodness. Yes, he finally has a jaw. Who'd have thunk? Bop, 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 bop. I know. Having a jaw is so freeing. But he's also got a nice face to him. Still no nose. There's never gonna be a nose. And I guess the rest can just come right off, huh? Howdy. Well, it may not be live 2D, but I gotta say, holy shit, Papyrus joined the Mafia. God damn it. Oh, if only I could emote and give you those skateboard eyes.